Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for a brand new video, and as the title says or implies, I'm going to be attempting CJ Plays Shell Challenge. Now I have never ever done a shell challenge in any of the Sims games, but I have been wanting to, so much so that I think at the beginning of November I started to map out my own shell challenge, and then as with everything that I do in the Sims, it got shelved. So I don't know if I will return to this, but this shell challenge that CJ Plays has done was very welcome because it was on the brain. It was like we were mind melding, and he put this out and I was like, I have to attempt it. But when he said challenge, he meant challenge with a capital C because I was on the struggle bus with a capital S. Anyway, as you can see, we are in the lovely Bridgeport. Look at the beauty of this world. It is absolutely stunning. I have placed CJ Plays' shell down on 200 Windsor Drive, which is where Mr. Hamming used to reside. I booted him to the bin and I said, see you later, because I need your lot, because I want to take advantage of your exquisite views, and I placed down the shell. So let's have a look at the shell that made me have more gray hairs than I already do. And there it is. On the surface, right, just looking at it as it is now, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look that challenging. But let me tell you, it was challenging. So challenging, in fact, that I actually had to do the roofing off camera because it was a moment where my brain was just going all sorts of haywire and it just wouldn't compute. I just couldn't have done it on camera because the whole video would have been roofing, and ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So how a shell challenge works, if you haven't done one before, is that basically you are given a shell, which is what we're looking at now, and then you have to turn it into something. It can be a residential lot, it can be a community lot. However, you cannot touch the exterior walls whatsoever. There's no touchy-touchy. Don't delete walls, don't add walls, nothing. However, I did confirm with CJ Plays that I could create a foundation as long as I redrew the walls back where they were originally, and also I could use half walls. So those are the rules. That is how the challenge works. And let me just show you what this build looks like from the top. So this is front facing as you're looking at now, and this is the bottom level, and that teeny tiny awkward wall configuration, I don't even know what to call it, is the upstairs. So CJ Play said you didn't have to use the upstairs, but I went a little bit further. I challenged myself and I did end up using the upstairs. So if we go back downstairs, I'll kind of talk you through what I did. So you enter through here. This is the entranceway. This is the dining room. The kitchen resides in here. There's stairs right about here. And then there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom in here, and then the living room is here. And because the footprint isn't massive, I utilized the outside space. So 200 Windsor Drive is a 40 by 30 lot, and so I utilized the outside space. So I had it in my head that this home would be for either a couple of parents and a teenage son, or a single parent and a teenage son, or it could be a teenage daughter. And the teenager is very creative. They like to draw. They're into photography, all artsy fartsy. And so the bonus space that I did upstairs is kind of an artsy fartsy space. And then as a whole, the family likes to entertain and be outside. So this is the shell. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the roof before we pop into the speed build portion of it. And I'll also show you that I did not, in fact, add extra walls or change the footprint whatsoever. It is all there, original and intact. So let's have a look at that. So here she is. Now it may look like I have used extra walls, but I promise you I didn't. I went modern because there is a part in the back that is angled, and I just the roofing, trying to roof that would have given me a hernia. So I decided not to attempt it, and I went all flat roofs, which I suppose is adding extra walls. However, I don't think that disqualifies me because it's roofs, not walls. if that makes sense. So let me just show you what the downstairs looks like, and you'll be able to see the original footprint. There she is, the original footprint intact. And then let's mosey on up to the upper level, and you will see that that is intact as well. There she is, that very strange, awkward space that I was able to make into a bonus space. So another one of the rules that CJ Plays had that really hurt my heart was that there was no store content apart from store content that came with the worlds. You guys know how much I love my store content, and so that was really hard, really painful for me, but I was able to do it. Really super duper proud of myself. I'm gonna link CJ Plays' channel down below in the description, as well as this shell challenge video that he did, because he attempted his own shell challenge, and you will be able to see that his shell challenge, what he's done with his shell and what I've done, is completely different. He had his build long ways, whereas I decided to go sort of the other way, the opposite way to what he did. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's get into the speed build portion of this, what I'm gonna dub impossible shell challenge, because I shit you not, this roofing took me 2 or 3 hours to do, and I was not a happy bunny. Anyway, let's go. So as you can see, I have done the wallpapers because that was a faff and a half. I at first had exposed brickwork, which y'all know I do love my exposed brickwork, but I went to a dark blue siding, and then I went for some industrial concrete, because I do love my industrial concrete as well. I really love doing modern builds. Like, if I could have exposed brickwork in a house, ooh, I would absolutely love it. But the windows are all on, the doors are on, and I'm just doing a bit of landscaping. Now, you guys know how I feel about landscaping, so you're not going to see a whole heck of a lot of it going on, but you'll get a sneak peek, a little preview. We've obviously got a pool, because what beautiful modern house overlooking a cliff top doesn't have a pool? I don't know. And then I go ahead and put a hot tub in, because pool, hot tub, they kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But this is basically all the landscaping that you're gonna see. I do put a few trees out here and there, but there is more. You will see that in the screenshots, so make sure to stick around for those. But I don't know what it is about landscaping on camera. It just like makes me want to break out in hives because I don't know, I'm very aware that I'm recording, and I know that when you record, you're recording in real time and it's a slower speed, and this is obviously sped up, but for some reason I feel like the clock is ticking and that I really have to go very quickly. If anybody knows of any landscaping tutorials that are out there that can make me better, please shove them my way, because I'm awful at landscaping, and it's probably my least favorite part of building. I feel like a lot of people are really good at building and landscaping, and then less so with the interiors. And again, on the opposite, really good at interiors, less so on the building side. Like I said in a previous video, if people can do both, they're an absolute unicorn. And I feel like my jam, my home, is in the interiors, and that's just, I really love it. I love it so very much. But anyway, we're almost done with what you're gonna see on the outside, and then we're gonna pop straight into the inside, and we're going to go where I'm most comfortable. So this is the kitchen. It isn't very big at all. At first I was gonna put some island seating, but then there wasn't much room for a dining table. You can also see that I've got the counters wrapped around in that little area. I've removed them now, and I end up putting a door there. I don't know if you see that on camera, but I put a door there to get out to the deck, and out in that little, I'm pointing to my screen like you guys can see, but you can't, but out in that little alcove right there, I end up putting a bar. So it made a lot of sense, it worked, and I really like it. But as you can see, the footprint is so tiny. Like, it's just not big. I wouldn't recommend more than 3 Sims living in this house, but I feel like a single parent and a teenager would work perfectly in this. And Like I said previously, what I had in mind for the teenager is that they were really, really artsy-fartsy. I'm getting way, way ahead of myself. I'll talk about that more when we get to the teenager's room. But what I've started to do, you guys can see that these are quite short clips put together. What I've started to do is lay down the main things that go in certain areas. Like, for example, this is the living room, and I've laid down the main things, and then off camera I go and I put in the details, because if I was to do that on camera, my videos would be super duper long. And I know that some of you guys really enjoy super duper long details or super duper long videos, but when I'm scrolling through the catalog to find all these detailed items that I want to put in, I feel like I'm scrolling for ages, and I just don't want to put anybody through that. So this is how I'm starting to do my videos, is in the bigger items go down, smaller items off camera, and then when I go to recolor, you get to see all the little items that I have put here and there. So this is the main bedroom, and it's cute. I'm obsessed with this bed. I've been using it everywhere in all of my builds. I think I used it in one of the next builds that's coming up, and I think I also used it in the Shearwater renovation. I can't recall, but I love that bed. Anyway, we've moved on to the teenager's room. I'm gonna plop some more stuff down, and then I believe we're gonna pop upstairs to the bonus space. I tell a lie, we're still in the teenager's room, and I am just reconfiguring it, making it make a little bit more sense, because I don't like things that block windows. So I had to reconfigure that just slightly, and you will see when we pop back to this room that I have removed the laptop, and I end up putting not a drawing tablet, but the sketchbook. Again, artsy fartsy. But here we are in the bonus space. A little bit of an artsy-fartsy bonus space. You've got an easel, and then there's somewhere to sit. And then at one point, which you will see, I do believe that I did this on camera, I was going to put a fireplace up here, but I end up putting it outside. Now you see all the shrubbery that is around this bonus space? Those are Zero Simoleon planters that came with University Life, and I absolutely love them. But every time I went back into the build after shutting down my game, it looked like they were floating on the bottom level, and I could not figure out for love nor money how to make it so they wouldn't float, and the only way to get rid of it was to delete them and then hit Control Z so they would all go back, and it was fine, but I just didn't want that for the download, so I replaced them with other things, which you will see in the screenshots. But here's a little sneaky peek of the decking that is off the kitchen. So there's a set of stairs that you can get to this deck, and then also through the kitchen. So you've got the shuffleboard, you have got the ping pong table, you've got a professional bar, and also a fireplace just to chill and relax and be cozy outside. So here we are onto the recoloring portion of this, and so you can see all the little details that I have gone in and put down. So it's not like I'm hiding things from you. I just don't want to put you through the pain of me scrolling endlessly through a catalog trying to find one item that I really, really, really want to use. So this is a little kitchen area. Again, not massive, not huge, but it functions. I have play tested this, I want to say lightly, but I did play test and upgrade it. Well, I didn't. The quintet, my tester sims, went through bums on seats, backs on beds, and they upgraded everything to unbreakable. That was possible to be upgraded to unbreakable. And I believe the toilet is self-cleaning, so you don't need to worry about that, because it is a high-end toilet for this high-end modern house. I do think it's a really cool house. Like, I was really daunted by this shell when I first went into it. I was like, how am I even going to do this? And it took me 3 or 4 attempts to get the floor plan correct, because where the main, not the main bedroom, but where the teenager's bedroom is, I think that's where I was going to have the entrance, and you'd have to walk up what is now the side deck to get into the house, and that didn't work, so I had to flip it on its head. And yeah, it took some mapping out to get through this, but I do love how it turned out. And also this table from Diesel Stuff, I've never used this ever. And at first I used the stencil remover on it, but then I decided that I really liked the pattern, and I thought the pattern was super duper modern, and it really worked out. So I think the dining space and the kitchen are two of my favorite areas, even though they're small and they've kind of got the nectar racks. It separates the spaces, but it's still quite open. So it works, and I'm happy. And so let's move on to the living space. And we have got this little entryway. You can see the stairs there that are kind of hidden. The stairs do work. Again, I have tested those out because there's nothing worse than placing down stairs and then your Sims cannot get up them, and you just basically have to scrap the whole build. Now this little monster took me ages to find a pattern that would go on it. Again, I used the stencil remover. If CJ plays, if you're watching this, this is not CC. I promise you I haven't used CC in any of this build whatsoever. You will see some portraits and things like that look like CC, but I promise you they're not. They make use of the World Adventures photography skill. So there's no CC in this build. There is very little store content. I think I've used store content from Aurora Skies, Lucky Palms, and Roaring Heights. And of course, I've got my favorite chair from 70s to 80s and 90s stuff pack. And you will see, fair warning right now, you will see a lot of cow print in here. I am very into cow prints at the moment. I don't know what's up with me, but once I get on a kick, I've got to keep doing it until it's exhausted, and I've exhausted all my resources. So there's cow print in this build. There's cow print in the next build that I'm going to have come out. And I think there's cow print in the Shearwater. So I'm on a cow print kick at the moment. And yeah, so just playing around with items in this area, and shortly I'm going to do another trick. I wanted a fireplace in here, but I don't like any of the fireplaces really that came with the game. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like them. So I created my own, which gives your Sims, it doesn't give them a warm moodlet, but it gives them like a beautifully decorated moodlet. So here we go. I'm using fog emitters, and I'm putting in a code, and when we get to the screenshots, you'll see that the fireplace is always roaring, but you don't have to worry about your lot setting on fire, which is always a good thing because nobody likes the fire on their lot unless the firemen are hot. And then that's okay. But then it's not. Anyway, here we are in the artsy fartsy teenagers room. And so you see those stripes on the back behind the bed. Those actually continue up onto the wall just in that area over the bed. And I thought that was a really cool touch. I really like doing that, painting the ceiling. And it's kind of like the bed is alcoved and it is shaped, surrounded by those two stripes. So it's very black and blue in here. But yeah, it could be for a teen boy, it could be for a teen girl. And I just think it's a really cool space. You've got a camera in there. You've got a sketchbook in there. There is, what else is there? A stereo, just anything that, you know, a teenager would love. This is actually a 4x3 bedroom, and I did say 4x3 was plenty for a kid's room. I feel like you could go probably 5x3 just to make it a little bit more spacious, but everything fits. My Sim was able to get on the bed, was able to sit in the chair, and so they could get where they needed to get, and it all worked out. And look, there's a sneak peek of the bathroom. But anyway, I'm just recoloring the clothes that are on the shelves that I created with the nectar racks, and the only thing left to do is to pop over to the main bedroom and then pop upstairs. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to love you and leave you guys with some music. I haven't done that in quite some time. So you guys jam out, have a good time. I want to say a massive thank you to CJ Plays for this shell challenge, because like I said, it was a challenge. Go over, show him some love, go and check out what he did in his own shell challenge, because like I said, completely different, and again, That's the beauty of shell challenges. Everybody's creativity comes out in different ways. And let me know down below in the comments if you would like me to pick up my shell challenge and put a video out on that. The shell challenge that I shelved back at the beginning of November. I'll try not to make it as challenging as this, but it's all a little bit of fun and games. But let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see, to attempt, because I would love to see what you guys do. Also, I've missed you guys. Let me know how you're doing down below in the comments. But I am rambling now, so I am going to officially wrap this commentary up. Make sure you stick around to the screenshots, jam out to the music. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to do all those cool interweb things, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you've got that bell ding dong to be notified whenever I do upload. But for now, I'm gonna skedaddle. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys.